Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an M44, the Tier 6 American SPG, and this one's located on the west spawn of Stand River under the command of Major Nuisance. Now, it's a 155mm howitzer mounted on top of a Walker Bulldog chassis, and it's quite powerful. 155mm howitzer in a swivel mount, which actually gives it the ability to fire over a wide field of fire from a stationary position. Well, Major Nuisance is taking it off into the dunes. You can see the lovely skin with our logo on the side, and he's found his firing position. Okay, he's looking for the enemy. Now, he's capable of doing 550 alpha damage if he can penetrate 39mm of ammunition of armor. Round out on the T-34. Oh, lovely hit! 192 hit points of a near miss. Now he's just pulling back a little. His reload time is 16.79 seconds. He's not using premium consumables, but he must have a very good crew to get that sort of reload time. Now he's got a red line at the moment. That's because the mountain that's actually to his right is obstructing the field of fire. I'm sure he knows that. Yep. I think he's realised. He's going to have to pull forward if he's going to shoot over the dunes at those targets. But there's some bushes down here which are actually quite useful. Okay, we've got an AMX CLC. Just poking that ridge line. We're dialing in. It can be very accurate, this gun. That must have been near the LC. Reload underway. Okay, it's loaded. Now, where did that ELC go? Well, Type 64 is popping up to have a look. There he is. He's actually pulled back. And he's been killed. Right now, well, the only targets that are actually in sight at the moment are the ones north of the riverbed. As a VK3001H. Oh, we've got a T-34A5 right at the back, firing around into that bowl to see if there's any Arty there. Nope, doesn't appear to be. It's the most familiar place for people to fire from if you're in an Arty. It's not a very good idea to go there because so many Arty players know about it and go there that it also makes it the first place you'll look when you're looking for the enemy. Now, being as it's built on a Walker Bulldog chassis, it's actually quite a fast little Arty. Not the fastest one in the game, but it's actually quite mobile. Okay, we've got a KV2 sitting at the back there. Round out. Should be on... Oh, just went long. I thought it was on target, but wasn't fully dialed in. That IKV's been killed. Going for the KV2. That's the slowest of those two. I've lost sight of the SU-100. He's firing at it. KV2 is much slower. Okay, he's going for an OI experimental. That's a slow heavy. Okay, dial in ahead of it. That's it. Round out. It's going to land near it. 138. It was just behind. He didn't have enough lead on the target, but it was stunned, so he picked up some stun assist there. And that T-34 is very low on health, so if he can get a shot near it, that's the one he hit earlier in the game. Fires a round in, and he killed it! He splashed it to death, a blind kill. He judged where it was going, fired the round in, and took it out the game. Right, well, one of the Arties has been spotted nearby, but we're firing at this target first, the T-3485. Unfortunately, all we've done is knocked a few trees down, but two Arties have now been spotted in close proximity. An M44 and a Gorilla, and the M44 has just been derped by our KV2. We're going for the Gorilla, rounds out, and we've got him! Took out the Gorilla. Now, we're one tank down on the enemy at the moment, so we really do need to get rid of some of these enemies near the camp. That's the T-3485 that we were aiming at a short while ago. Rounds out. Should be on target. It is. 267, near miss. He's now one shot. Now the KV2's sitting down there. He's also actually facing off against the enemy KV2, so it would really help right now if we could fire a round into that KV2. It would very much help. Can we get a shot on him? Well, difficult. We could land a shell nearby, and that might be enough. Fire a round in. Oh, well, it did. It stunned them, and he's taken out the T-3045, but this has prompted that KV2 to come in and take a shot. There's a 20-second reload, and he's fired into the KV2. Now, can we get around into the KV2 there? We're trying, and we do. We get a hit. 128 hit points, but we're changing direction because an enemy tank, a T-52, is just behind us. Lining up a shot. He's fired one into us, and we shotgun him at close range. So that's taken care of that threat. There are only 3 enemies remaining, but we're the last ones left on our team. So it's all down to Major Nuisance now to win the game. 1 against 3, but he does have the M44, the 155mm Howitzer to play with, and this is a very powerful Arty. Should never be underestimated what this tank can do. It really is very, very effective. They're still in service with the Turkish army. Now, he's got the habit of driving with his gun raised, which is something I do a lot. I aim deliberately high so I don't accidentally take out my teammates if I drive behind them. But when you're into shotgun, you can lower the gun barrel. That was a very nice shot on that T-52 to take him out. Very dangerous tank, those T-52s. Well, none of the enemy are in sight at the moment, but I suspect that they're headed for our cap right now. Okay, looks like Major Nuisance is headed for their cap. And if anybody stays behind, he'll shotgun them. Well, they're capping. One of them's in the cap. Now, it's up to Major Nuisance to get a reset once he starts capping himself. But I don't think that'll be a problem for him. Okay, he's started capping. Now, he's aiming for our cap. Now, he just needs to work out where that enemy has gone. Rounds out. No, not there. He's going to have about 3 or 4 more chances before he runs out of time. Rounds out. He only needs to get 1 reset. Oh, he got it! He got the reset! He's now ahead of them, but he needs to keep getting resets because it's going to take him longer to cap out than it will take them. Fires another round in. Didn't get a reset that time. Oh, one of them has left the cap, which means now he has a solid chance of winning this game. If they'd stayed in the cap, it would have been very difficult for him to win. He needed another reset to ensure of that. And I suspect it's the SU-100. No, whoever the enemy is, he's gone back into the cap. But if we can get a reset, we'll win. If we don't get a reset... Oh, we did! He got the reset! That wins the game! He's now ahead of them. Well, it could be a draw, but if he can get another reset, he's definitely won the game. Loading another shot. Fires around in, and... Well, he's capped out. Now, did he cap out in time? It looks like he did, because they didn't complete. There's 5 seconds gap. Yes, he's won it. He's done it. He's capped out and beaten the enemy. And here's the end of battle result. It's a second-class tank of a major nuisance in the M44, and what a victory to get. He got a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 13, but best of all, he picked up an Invader medal. All on his own, he defeated the enemy. He won against 3 enemy tanks, and he beat them by capping and also by resetting their cap again and again. What a fantastic way to win the game. 3 enemies, and he took them all down with one little Arty. Just look at that. And when it comes to the damage, we can see that, well, it was the Type 64 on his team was the biggest scorer on his team with 1567, but the high scorer on the enemy team was the T52, and it was the one that he killed. He got 1,672 hit points of damage, and then came the KV2 with 1471, and then came Major Nuisance with 1286 in that game. If we look at the number of kills, we can see it was the T52 again who got the highest number of kills. He got 5. Then came Major Nuisance with 3 along with the KV2, and then there's a whole bunch of tanks with 2 kills. And when it came to base XP, it was Major Nuisance all the way who got 866 for winning the game. The Type 64 managed 784, and then the T52 on the enemy team got 612. So he beat that T52 and saved his team by winning the game. Let's have a look at the detail report. He fired 20 shots during that game. He got 2 direct hits, 0 penetration and 14 splash. Damage of 1,286 hit points, of which 1,146 were at more than 300 meters. He received 1 hit, and it was a penetration from that T52. He also damaged 10 of the enemy, 2/3 of the enemy team, and killed 3 of the enemy, 1/5 of the enemy team. He got stun assistance damage of 556 hit points off 11 stuns. He picked up 100 capture points, but get this, he was only 5 cap points away from getting a defender medal as well in that game. If only he had managed to get 1 more reset, I think he would have ended up with a defender and an Invader medal, which it would have been very nice indeed. He picked up 34,595 credits, got 13,838 for personal missions payout, and after repair and ammunition resupply, he took away 37,752 credits. He received 1,299 XP, got 1,819 from personal mission payout, meant his total was 3,118 experience points altogether. What a fantastic game that was. He saved it for his team by rushing to the other end of the map. He realized that they would come by the easiest route through the dunes rather than going up the riverbank, and he made a detour around the north, which was the longer route, which of course they weren't going to take, and reached the cap and then got the resets that really made it count. And what a thing for them to do, to leave the cap to try and come down to kill him. If they stayed in the cap, they would have won the game, because all they needed to do was find a place to hide so he couldn't hit them all, and they would have won for sure. But they made a mistake, and Major Nuisance won it for his team all alone. What a great game. So if you enjoyed that replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.